to get on animal videos. I flipped 100 rocks in Australia. Here's what I found.
Australia is known for the craziest and deadliest animals. That's
Yeah.
why I'm going there to flip 100 objects to find crazy bugs, venomous creatures, and so much more underneath.
Off the riff, I have to say, I've been saying this for years. Australia is the dark continent, and I will never in my entire life visit it for this very reason.
I'll be starting in Australia's most iconic rainforest, but by the end, we're gonna get to the iconic Australian desert with insane animals everywhere.
But don't think the rainforest is
That
boring,
blue snake
because
real?
literally under this first object, I instantly found something deadly. This is a baby giant centipede, which when they get older are known for having some of the most painful bites in the animal kingdom. Since
Like, you can't look, bro. I mess with nature, bro, but look at that thing, bro. Who, like, bro, why do you exist? I be looking at things. Oh, shout out Coyote Peterson. Coyote Peterson got, boy, he one of them. He one of them. But I be looking at, yo, bro, why? Why? Dead serious. I be like, why?
Since we're on Australia, we're very likely to see a way bigger one soon. Under the second object, I found
might gotta
something
pause
I've
that.
always
Hold
wanted
on.
to find.
Oh my gosh, I thought there was nothing here, but there's a literal massive bug.
But that's exactly part of this
What is
bug's
that?
design. This is a spiny leaf insect.
Oh, fuck. Hey, the animals / bugs that be blending in this, yo, keep that too. I don't know, bro. They're smart. I mess with them. Keep that though. Keep that.
One of the
Keep
most
that, all of 'em.
camouflage insects in existence. You could
Hell
barely
no.
even see it when I was standing on this leaf. Pretty cool. So I kept exploring, and when I got to object number 3, I
Tripping and
found
bugging,
nothing.
tripping
So
and
I'm only gonna
bugging.
show the most interesting animals from now on. Which thankfully, object number 6 had something super interesting. At first, you may just think these are regular old ants, but if you look closely, it's actually an insane species. They are trapjaw ants, which you can tell by their massively wide trapjaw mandibles. They have these microscopic hairs inside the jaws that when a prey touches it, the jaws snap within a fraction of a second, making it almost impossible for prey to escape. Yeah, Australia is crazy. Now, as I continued on the trail, I was gonna flip this log, but on top, I noticed there was actually a special species of millipede, which apparently has the ability to spit acid out of its mouth. Now, if you
That's
didn't
what
know,
I'm
with
saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. First off, venom is the weakest thing known to man. Dead serious. There's no way you can be this small and prick me on my finger and I could possibly die from that. It's no way, bro. Second off, what are you talking about? You spit acid? A little caterpillar spitting acid? What is that gonna do to me?
I have the
That gonna disintegrate me?
backpack, where I packed tons of cool objects to interact with the animals I find. And this time I grabbed a pack of paintbrushes. I wanted to see how this bug would react to being rubbed by one, and yeah, he was pretty mad. Initially, he kept curling up and biting the end of the brush, but eventually I caught it doing this. Yup, it just sprayed its acid defense chemical, which stained the edge of my paintbrush, and yeah, it just kept biting it over and over. Well, sorry for disturbing you, little guy. That was pretty cool to watch.
Is that deadly?
Now, as I continued on to object number 11, I found this. It's not a rock, it's actually a termite nest. Yeah, termites will spend years, day by day, constructing a nest out of dirt. Sometimes they even get absolutely massive like this one. Although this one looked like it may have been abandoned, and there was something infiltrating it.
Yo, there's like a weird tail thing coming out of this nest.
Yeah, it was literally partly inside the termite nest and poking its head out. I thought I had found some undocumented snake species or maybe a leech, but if you actually really focus hard on how this thing is moving, and in specific, this tiny little white thing on the edge of its head, you can tell that this is a baby land planarian. If you don't know what these are, well, they are insanely creepy. In this footage, you can see how they eat. Basically, they go up to an unsuspecting snail or worm, then all of a sudden, they completely wrap around it, releasing a sticky mucus to make it impossible for the prey to escape. Then they push some weird alien tube out their body that they can inject into the prey to then slurp up the insides like a smoothie. Yeah.
Also, bro, I just gotta say this. If it's creatures like this that exist on the surface, yo, bro, imagine what they got creeping down at ground zero underneath the water. That's all I gotta say.
Talk about brutal. I think I'm gonna have to leave you alone. Now, under
Turn a
object number
snail to a
16, I
slush.
found a cricket, which I just thought was cool because in America, the crickets are a bright tan color usually, but this one was way darker. Now, I quickly took out the backpack and grabbed a clear container out from inside. Yeah, if you didn't know, these crickets make an excellent food source for other animals I'll find, so I'll be saving this to feed it to...
Nope.
These crickets make an excellent food source for other animals.
This is one of the reasons you'll never catch me in Australia. They said they got, not this one, obviously, it's not that big. They said they got spiders the size of a dinner plate. That means the spider is bigger than my hand. Hell no, brother.
So I'll be saving
Can't
this
catch
to
me.
feed it to something later. As I continued walking through this beautiful rain
Hi. This is really hard for me to do, but I'm
forest, I came across
Are
a
you gonna
little
pay for my
creek.
premium?
This
No,
looks
you're
like
not,
the
so shut up.
perfect water area for deadly crocodiles to be swimming in. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be standing so close, actually.
Yeah, I don't know why everything in Australia
Fuck,
is so
boy.
deadly, but I went and flipped some rocks along the river where
Y'all be seeing people that, bro, they be too comfortable with the gator. They talking about it's a water puppy, and they be rubbing it and slapping it on the head. No, because he grabbed that arm and get the barrel roll and it's up for you.
found
Never in
a
my
little
life.
earthworm. Nice. Under another river rock, I found a pretty solid sized beetle grub. You can see it was quite a bit bigger than my gloved fingertip, but some of these beetle grubs will seriously grow so large
thing looks
over
kinda
the course
cool.
of a few
Oh
years
my,
that they
what
may
the-
turn into beetles that are just genuinely insane.
Alright, put your rocks back, mister.
Oh.
Hopefully you turn into an amazing, massive beetle one day.
But as I left the river a little
Oh,
bit, I found
boy.
easily the
Hey, you need
weirdest
the
thing yet.
creepy
Wait a
crawlies.
second. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's something moving under this log.
Yeah, it was a bunch of extremely weird white things
24
moving
RP
around
Kobe.
constantly. I had to get out the backpack to grab a flashlight so I can get a better look at what was going on. This gave me a bit of a better view to see that inside of here was tons and tons of super thin legs. But they were just shaking so much
It's the
that I
daddy
had
long
no
legs?
clue what these things were until I
Nah.
poked a stick inside, which
Are
gave
they
me
flying?
a slightly better look at one of them. Yeah, if we pause at the perfect moment, it may look like some sort of spider, but in reality, this is a phantom crane fly. Apparently, footage of these guys is
Ooh.
insanely hard to get because, well, they shake like crazy when they detect a predator. But in this rare footage I found, you can see how they fly like an alien spaceship. I'm not even gonna lie, this might be the coolest fly species on Earth.
That's tough.
But for Object 29, I flipped some of these dead seed things and found another super cool ant species. You can see by these guys' awesome gold and green color that they are Australian weaver ants. And what's so interesting is you see how this guy has its green abdomen pointing up? Well, that's actually their special ability. While most
Why everybody got venom and acid, bro? Like, yo, it's like random patch notes be dropping to update and upgrade these species, bro. This is, yo,
ants have mandibles or stingers to take down their prey, but weaver ants literally have an acid
He's shooting
spray in
from
their
deep,
abdomens
too.
that they use to either defend themselves like these ants or spray other attacking ants.
oh, that boy got the shotgun on him. Hold on.
Defend themselves like these ants or spray other
Boom.
attacking ants. Yeah, they also build bridges out of their bodies to help the rest of the colony walk across
That's
leaves.
casual
Talk
ant
about
business,
a
we knew
crazy
that.
ant species. Now, the next animal I found was actually under a tree. If you look closely, there is actually some sort of bug that looked like it was just floating right under here. I had to put the stick behind it so my camera would focus on it, and after it did, I saw that this is actually a super cool animal called an inchworm. These guys are basically able to float under trees by spinning a tiny thread of silk that connects them to the leaves
think I've seen these
above,
before.
so they can just hang from it. But this guy actually climbed onto the stick I was holding, and when I went to put him back, you could see how they have some of the funniest movement. Since their
Yeah, I've
legs
seen
are
one of
only
these
on the
before.
front and back of their body, they just walk around by curling their entire body up like this. Seems like a lot of effort, but yeah, I just put this guy right back. Now, Object 41 was this coconut, which I found out something super cool about. But interestingly, I first noticed that there was actually one of those trapjaw ants from earlier biting onto my finger. Yeah, I wasn't joking about how strong these things' jaws are, and he was glued onto my hand just trying to inject his venomous stinger in. Good thing I had these gloves on. Anyways, what is so interesting about this coconut is almost this perfect circle drilled into the side of it. This is not natural. It's actually a sign of a giant white-tailed rat. You see, these things live in the Australia
I was thinking something else.
in rainforests and find fallen coconuts. They then use their insanely large teeth to drill a massive hole into coconuts, which most animals can't do. Then they drink up all the coconut water and eat some of that tasty white meat on the inside. But after the rat leaves, other bugs also come in here, like these.
So, like, I don't know. It'd be, like, kind of impressing me, like, how does bro know that it's something inside? Or maybe he's just curious, found out one day, and then started doing it over and over again? I don't know. I mean, animals do got all the time in the world to do whatever they want, so.
Sap beetles to eat the bacteria that grows inside. Dang, a lot of life in one single coconut. And so I kept on exploring, and when I flipped object 44, I found some of the weirdest springtails I've ever seen. If you didn't know,
oh nah, these are the joints in Grounded. You ever played Grounded, bro?
I found some of the
These are the joints in Grounded. You be killing them, they give you food.
Weirdest springtails I've ever seen. If you didn't know, springtails are tiny little bugs that are usually white, but these ones in Australia I found are bright red. That may not seem super interesting, but if you didn't know, there's a massive market online of people buying and selling super rare springtail species, and apparently 10 Australian red.
Daisy, Mark
Chill,
Jacobs.
Bro. Double whammy?
In these times, I prefer to keep my presence.
Springtail sells for over $30. So yeah, if I was smart, I'd grab these and sell them, but I don't want to interfere with the wildlife, so I'll let them be. Now this trail is awesome because not only does it end up in the iconic Australian red desert, but there's a massive market
just killed me on that. Hold on.
red. That may not seem super interesting, but if you didn't know, there's a massive market online of people buying and selling super rare springtail species, and apparently 10 Australian red springtails sells for over $30. So yeah.
30 on a 10 count? It's not even that many, it don't look like, so.
If I was smart, I'd grab these and sell them, but I don't want to interfere with the wildlife, so I'll let them be. Now this trail is awesome because not only does it end up in the iconic Australian red desert, but it also passed by a literal beach.
There's no way that scorpion is real.
To the
that light
water
blue
here,
one
so
you just
I
showed?
figured I should flip a couple seaside
I know
rocks.
Photoshop when
Under
I
some
see
of
it,
them
buddy.
were these aquatic snails with these pretty cool looking shells, and out of other rocks, crabs would dart out looking for cover. I wanted to get a close up of that crab that ran out, so I flipped the rock right next to it and found an even bigger crab.
Bro, crabs be hilarious,
He's
bro.
just staring at me with his claws up.
Yeah, you could see
He ready to catch a fade at any moment.
Definitely give me a pretty good pinch. Thankfully, he went and retreated down into his perfectly placed hole. Now, there was also some tiny fish here that I tried to catch with this net from the backpack, but they were just so unbelievably fast, if you can even see them moving around in this footage. This ocean is crazy, though, because the Great Barrier Reef is literally less than 10 miles from where I was standing. That place is home to some of the craziest and deadliest ocean life in the world, so I think I'll definitely come back here to make an underwater video one day.
Make sure you're subscribed so when I come back here, you'll get notified about the insane.
I don't do no type of oceanry. I ain't gonna lie. No type of oceanry. You have to drag me out to the beach, and when I'm there, I'm staying feet in the sand, and my feet aren't even in the sand because I heard they be gotten little pokes that come up from the sand and poke you. Not going for none of that. Sandals on the sand. When I decide to sit down, it's either in a foldable chair or 3 towels, boy.
Video I make.
I'm not going for none of that.
Now, back in the rainforest, I ended up finding a little log and flipped it. Underneath was just some super tiny, kind of boring ants, which normally I wouldn't show. But as I was watching back this footage, I noticed this leaf had something super cool on it. See all those weird bumps perfectly laid out across the leaf? Well, those are eggs. Apparently, there's a bug called a large leaf-footed bug that lays their eggs on the bottom of leaves, and apparently are able to lay them in this perfect brick formation, which I just find interesting how symmetrical it is. As I continued down the rainforest
It's so
trail,
crazy how
I found
many
something
like
pretty
different
crazy.
speeds.
Yo, these have got to be the biggest fruits I've seen in my life.
I thought that was a snakehead, bro. I thought that was a snakehead, bro. I said, ain't no way a snake is that gargantuan.
life. And in fact, this is actually the largest fruit in the world, called a jackfruit. But what was cool was that it was split open by some animal and was completely rotting. Tons of wildlife.
I need to watch a video on different fruits, bro. They be having real life devil fruits, bro. I'll be like, what the?
Just eating their fair share of it too. Must be pretty tasty. Just kidding. That looks absolutely nasty. Now the next thing I found was under another tree, but my camera wasn't really focusing on it, so I held the backpack up behind it to show you guys what it is. It may look like some sort of moth butterfly thing caught on a spider web, but in fact this yellow triangle thing is the spider itself. It's a type of northern jewel spider, and yeah, they're born with these crazy rock solid sharp patterns on their back. This makes it so spiders' biggest predators, birds, have a way harder time eating them. The last animal I found in the rainforest section was under this log. It was another crab, but this time it was a land crab, which is a little bit different than the beach crab we found earlier. These guys actually quite enjoy eating crickets, and if you remember in the backpack, I actually caught a cricket in this container earlier in the video, which might kind of not be alive anymore, but it'll still make for some great food. So I brought it over to the crab and waved it around in front of him. He kind of
y'all eating them barbecue flavored crickets they be selling? Them Asian zing flavored crickets they be selling? Them mango habanero crickets they be selling? I'll try some, no cap, the flavored ones.
Tended to grab it, but then all of a sudden he darted away so fast into a little puddle. He was probably a little bit scared of me.
Well, I'll leave that with you, little buddy, if you want to eat it.
Well, I finally made it to the Australia desert, which has some of the most deadliest animals on Earth. And that was instantly proven because under this first rock was another baby centipede. But this guy was still pretty small. However, I'm super confident we're gonna find a way bigger one. Now, under this little piece of bark, there wasn't actually anything, but I did see something running around in the corner of my eye, so I went to try and catch it. When I did, I realized it was a burrowing frog, which apparently didn't want to be with me because it just jumped straight off my hand.
Everybody caught a frog in their past. You know what's crazy? Yo, what I used to do, low key, high key really, we used to, we had a big, like, laminated map of the USA or the world. It was USA. It was USA. We would go catch a slug outside and put him on the map to see where he would go, bro. We was bored as kids, bro. We was doing anything. We would see where he would go throughout the US, bro. It was fun, I ain't gonna lie.
Nearby. And after walking around a little bit, I found this little pool.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in here.
I wanted to get a closer look at some of the stuff in here, so
I ain't gonna lie, I was also one of them kids. I didn't do it all the time. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not some psychotic killer, right? But I was one of them kids. I would catch the flies, rip their wings off, and see what they do. Them boys was not, you know what I'm saying? They didn't die. They just had to walk from now on, you know what I'm saying? I did it a couple times. I ain't gonna lie. I obviously don't do it no more, but like, I did do it.
Once again, took out the backpack, and once again, grabbed out that clear container. This let me scoop up some of the wildlife in there, which allowed me to catch the first aquatic animal, a tadpole. This is likely the same species of frog that I had just found, so it's pretty cool we found.
This is also right here. This is what y'all would summon if you were in the Naruto verse. This right here. This is your peak jutsu. A lot of y'all be thinking y'all hopping that joint be Madara, be Itachi, be Shisui. No. This is you, buddy. This is you in the Naruto verse. I want you to know that.
Anyways, the
ribeye steaks, drumsticks, Atlantic salmon.
Cover your week for less.
So that's what I get.
It's an Aldi
off
thing.
all. And they hit me with another double whammy. He's getting to the bag on his toe.
Tells the world who you are. What
second animal I was able to scoop out of here was quite a bit different. This super weird, almost alien-looking creature is actually a dragonfly larva. Yeah, we've all seen dragonflies. They're pretty insane, cool-looking bugs. But yeah, apparently they start just as weird as babies living under the water. Now, finally, I was seeing one last creature in this pool of water.
Is that why they be flying over water all the time?
Yeah, these things are almost microscopic in size, but this is either some sort of water beetle or a type of shrimp. I can't really tell which one because of how blurry my footage was. But these guys are probably one of the main food sources of that dragonfly larva we had just seen. Now, as I continued on the trail, I ended up flipping rock 72, where something actually pretty cool did appear. If you look closely, this is a completely bright white spider. I have never seen a completely solid white spider, but apparently these are this color because it helps reflect the sunlight as it just gets so hot in these Australian deserts. This next rock also had something pretty cool. It was giant wood cockroaches. But what was even cooler was that right next to these guys was this
Them boys look, hold on. Them boys look built for tough, boy. Them boys got the I don't know. They got the black roly-poly armor. Hold on. Ooh, boy. You know they surviving a nuke. Boy, they tanking a nuke with ease.
Was giant wood cockroaches. But what was even cooler was that right next to these guys was this bug running around. This is a top.
Also, bro, there was a cockroach in the locker room of my high school one time. I was doing track and field. I was a thrower. Oh, bro, we took the shot put. It was like a 16-pound shot put. 16 pounds is for college. So we weren't really using it for other than like sometimes we would throw it for training. We took the 16-pound shot put on the cockroach. He lived to tell the tale and scattered away. I said, leave that man alone. This is his locker room.
Whittler bug, and apparently it's in the same family.
We're in his house
that laid those crazy eggs earlier in the video. I'm happy we got to find one of these. But finally, after quite a lot of rock flips later of nothing, I finally found something I was looking for. And it kind of scared me when I first flipped the rock, but finally I had found a fully grown giant centipede. These things are crazy fast, so I kept getting spooked whenever I looked in my direction. But yeah, apparently despite having some of the most painful bites, it doesn't even have teeth. It actually injects its venom through two of its front legs that have been modified to attack prey. And while other invertebrates just
he got repulsor blasters? What the That's tough. He got the Iron Man he got
of its front legs that have been modified to attack prey. And while other invertebrates just go for small insects like scorpions, centipedes are known to take down literal lizards for lunch. Pretty crazy. Thankfully,
crazy.
The next rock that had something under it also didn't disappoint. Out from underneath ran a little type of velvet gecko. I didn't get to see it for long, but geckos are always pretty cool to find just because of how interesting of an animal they are. They're also some of the most common pet reptiles kept by people. Now, these next rock flips all rapid fire because I wasn't finding anything super insane, but I did find some termites finally. Also, I found this kind of cool grasshopper which just jumped into the grass, and I found a super cute caterpillar with a pretty unique pattern. If you're wondering, this caterpillar species turns into this pretty cool moth. But now I only had one more rock flip till I got to
I don't know if it's just me. I literally be squaring up on them moths, bro. I be throwing them to fade, bro. I be throwing them to fade. I swear to God, bro. They be annoying, bro. They be trying to get in the house, bro. They be stalking you by the light. As soon as you open the door, try to get in the house, bro. This is not your crib, brother. This is not your crib, bro. You lucky I let you stay outside the crib. Boy, before I take a can of Raid to that light, your whole family's done.
100, and I really wanted to find a snake here. So I really locked in to find the best rock I could that could have a snake under it. I needed to find a rock like this that had a little gap under it where a snake could be. But thankfully, it didn't take too long till I ended up finding this.
Oh, yo, is that a lizard tail or is that a snake?
But as I moved my camera to get a better angle, I was almost certain I had found the body of a snake here. So I very carefully moved the rock to get a little bit of a better look at what was under here. Thankfully, this didn't look like one of Australia's deadly snakes. In fact, based off the pattern, it looked like a Stimson's python, which take down their prey by constricting it, not with venom.
I swear, every single rock flipping video, I find something cool on the last rock. But dang, I mean, I don't really want to stress you out, bro, so I guess I'll just leave you under your rock.
Well, there was 100 rock flips in Australia.
What? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about? You talking about I don't want to stress you out? You was not worried about no type of stress for them other bugs and animals. Now when we get to the biggest and best animal, it's stressed out? Cap! Cap! I didn't see that thing move one time. Boy, that was a fake snake as far as I'm concerned.
Honestly, I found so many cool and unique bugs that made this trip
Ooh.
worth it, but I know Australia has so much more to offer in regards to crazy animals, so I'm definitely coming back out here one day to make a part 2. Subscribe so you can see that.
Yo, I just saw another snake. It's the Green snake play.
Nah, he did not. He ran this same play. He ran that same play, bro. He ran that same play. I'm gonna give him a like, though. He ran that same play, bro. Oh, you can't fool me. You can't fool the real